Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hilton True Wealth Podcast. I'm Mark Miller, manager of the Hilton Family Office, and today we'll be discussing how to diversify properly. Diversification is one of the most overused and really misunderstood concepts in investing, in my opinion. And for most people, it's giving them a false sense of security. So you've heard it all your life. We always have. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? And at the surface level, that makes sense. But here's the problem with that. Most people don't realize they're still using the same basket for diversification, just in different forms. So let's talk a little bit about the illusion of diversification that most people have in their retail-based portfolios. So we see this all the time. Someone comes in with, say, 8 different mutual funds, 3 ETFs, bond funds, a retirement account, and they feel like, well, I'm diversified. But when we actually break it down, and even if we do like a deep dive risk and wealth assessment, there's a huge percentage of those holdings that are often tied to the same underlying market drivers. And listen to me, because that's really the key. Most people don't understand that they may have a lot of different investments, but they're just duplicating themselves over and over again when it comes to diversification. So when the market shifts, everything, and I mean everything, like we've seen this, I remember specifically seeing this in a multi-million dollar portfolio, even back in the early 2000s when the dot-com bubble hit. And it kind of dates me a little bit, but it was a while ago. This person they thought they had this well-diversified portfolio, but the fact is when kind of the markets moved in a wrong direction, both on the bond and the equity side, they had lost 65% of their portfolio before they came to us. That's not diversification. That's simply duplication of assets. So why does this happen? And I'm going to give you a little bit of an industry peek inside the industry, and especially on the retail side of the business. The reason this happens, it's not random. So why do these big institutions on the retail side kind of build these financial systems to work this way? Well, number one, it's simplicity. It's very simple for them to structure products that work within generally, for the most part, in kind of an equity bias position. It's also very scalable for many of these institutions. It's simple for them to do that because it is easy to scale out to the masses. And finally, and it's kind of in the same vein, then it provides ease of distribution. So what I'm saying is the structure and how the retail side has been set up for years is under these models where it's very simple for people to understand and for investors to understand. And so then it's very simple for them to sell it and put it out there in the market and get lots of money under management. So it's much easier to say, hey, just spread your money across these particular funds, maybe 5 or 6 or 7 funds, than it is to say, hey, let's spread it across maybe 10 or 15 or 20 different types of investments, even maybe a global portfolio that's all working synergistically together. So really, the problem is this is not a true strategy. It's just easy for the major institutions to get the money, to sell the money, so to speak, and get the money under management. So let me explain what real diversification actually looks like. So true diversification isn't about how many positions you have or what you own and 3 different types of things that you own. It's about how your money behaves under different conditions and under different, specifically market conditions. So the wealthy diversify first of all across market risk. So they have different exposure in different areas. So they're taking the least amount of risk than that they possibly can. Some money is exposed, but then also some money is protected at the same time. Tax exposure, diversifying on tax exposure. What's taxable, tax deferred, tax free. And then also diversification in income sources, not relying on just one stream of income. They may rely on several streams of income. So that is really a completely different level of thinking. And what we educate our clients a lot about is trying to go to the next step to kind of think how the smart money thinks, how invest how the smart money invests. And when it comes to diversification, they're looking how everything is working together to provide the most efficiency possible, and not just, oh, I hope we just have the right amount of assets, or diversified in different types of asset classes. So that's a completely different level of thinking, okay? And you've already probably heard me talk about this. If you've watched some of my other podcasts, it's about understanding the difference between how the masses invest, kind of on the retail side, and how the select few, the wealthiest of the wealthy, invest on the institutional or the smart money side. So here's a simple example. Think of it this way. If all your income came from one job, and many of you out there have one job and maybe you've had it for a long time, but there's some exposure there. What if the market shift or the economy shifts? You get laid off, you get fired. So there's a lot of exposure there. But when it comes to investing, most people are doing the same thing. It's just dressed up a little bit differently. It looks like you're investing in a lot of things, so you're well diversified. Let's talk about Hilton positioning. At Hilton, we don't look at diversification as just more investments. We look at it this way. Different roles inside a whole coordinated portfolio. In our case, whether it's managed money, that builds into our overall portfolios are called the Hilton True Wealth portfolios. Those are processes and systems specifically designed to have proper diversification in a portfolio. That's where real stability comes from. So it's not just about being in good markets all the time. What do we do when we're in bad markets? Especially, and we diversify especially for those uncertain times. How is the portfolio going to perform? And is it battle tested? These types of portfolios that you want to build, are they battle tested in the worst of times? So in the next episode, I'm going to dive a little bit step further, and we're going to break down why the financial systems are really designed this way and why most people never stop to question it, or they don't know to question it. And that's, again, I go back to, it's about financial education. It's about learning what the wealthiest of the wealthiest do so you don't make the mistakes a lot of retail investors make. And if you kind of want to dive deeper, you can right now. You can get one of our complimentary copies of our book, Brad Hilton and I's book, Hilton Wealth, where we break down these type of things in detail. That brings us to the end of today's episode of Hilton True Wealth. I realize it was a short one, but we wanted to get that basic information to you. Tune into further episodes and get more information. And if you want to learn more about topics relating to building your wealth, tax planning, cutting edge tech, and family office services, we're here to help you in any way we can. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode, and give us a like or review. And if you're curious to learn more about your wealth, tune in every Tuesday for new insights and special guests. If you've found value in what you heard today, share it with someone who might benefit too. For more insights, resources, and to get a free copy of the book Hilton Wealth, How to Invest Like an American Dynasty, visit us at hiltonwealth.com. Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building your true wealth.